let us apply the same logic for those DML operations that we tried. Okay, this is our JDBC API and this is the MySQL implementation of the API. Okay, and we have our database here, and let us say we have our Java program here. Okay, and what we did initially, we established a connection, we called get connection method, that part is done, it is connected, established, then we are creating a statement, and then we are executing the query. Okay, and when we are executing the query at that particular step, this particular method, what is happening? It is sending the query. It is sending the query to the database, and database sends the response. Database sends the response, and that response we are receiving and we are processing it. For now, how we are processing? Suppose that we are sending a query like update query. If we are sending an update query, then what response we get from database? We get a number of rows affected response, which is an integer value. So let us call it 1 row affected. Okay, then that 1 row affected will be received by execute update method, and then that value we are saving, and then internally what we are doing, we are just printing that value. No, we are printing rows affected. Instead, we can do a much better way of writing. Instead of printing, we can do something like this. We can write a condition here saying if rows affected is more than 0, then it's a success, else failure. Are you getting? It will be more meaningful. Okay, so currently we are just printing number of rows affected, which is actually not a very meaningful message unless people already know databases. Those people who know databases, they can guess, okay, query, okay, rows affected means, okay, this is the meaning of it. Okay, but those people who have never used databases, they will not understand what is query, okay, what is rows affected, why rows got affected, what are rows at all. This will be the confusion. Okay, instead we can write a much better code, something like this. We can write rows, we can check whether the rows value is greater than 0. If it is greater than 0, that means rows affected, that means some rows affected at least. Some rows got affected by that particular query. That means query was a success. Query worked. Okay, and so because we are performing an update, we can print a message saying updating successful, or we can write more meaningful message like so and so value of so and so table is updated with so and so value or something like that. Okay, more meaningful message, so that it is more visible and clear to your customer, to your user. Okay, as well as in the failure, you can write a failure message, very clear message that so and so update did not work, and what could be the reason. One example, let us say you are updating a value based on a particular ID, and that ID is not found in the database, let us say. Okay, if that ID is not found in the database, then the update will not work, it will be a failure. Okay, so the number of rows affected will be 0, right? 0 rows affected. At that time, we can say that update failed because that ID did not exist. Okay, so it will be more meaningful. So that is something you have to try to write your code as, so that it makes more friendly. The solution, the output becomes more friendly towards the customer, so that customers understand what is happening in the system. Clear? Yes. Okay, so this is one small update I want you to make in your program. Update this. You want to write down, you can write down.